Ever since I finished my escapades with Mario Odyssey, my Nintendo Switch has been collecting dust. I feel like there haven't been that many standout games on the Switch. I'm always on the lookout for new games on the Switch too. I took a look at a little list of games I put together a year ago of the games I wanted, and I'm really sad to say that in a whole year's time that list has gone completely unchanged. I want a game that I can take to school and play, like I did with Breath of the Wild. Celeste, my friends, is that game. Celeste is the best 2D platformer we've had for the last couple of years, and even though it's available on other platforms, the Nintendo Switch is what Celeste was made for. Playing Celeste on the go has been amazing. I haven't brought my Switch to school since Breath of the Wild released, and now I'm walking in 5 minutes late to my classes, because it's so hard to put down. Celeste is a refreshingly simple 2D platformer. I knew early on that Celeste was going to be a great game. The jumps feel great because you're in full control, even in midair, and you even get a little dash that helps a lot when you fudge the jumps a bit early on. Celeste takes you from a friendly, easy climb to a fast-paced, precision platformer pretty quickly, as each level introduces new mechanics and slowly turns the difficulty up to 11. Celeste has 8 main chapters for you to play with, and each has its own theme and gimmick to keep things fresh. You've got blue bubbles, red bubbles, platforms that move when you dash, and even little switches that change the mechanics of the entire level. My experience with Celeste never got stale. There's always a fresh and exciting challenge, and let me tell you, it was challenging. Lucky for me, the game wastes no time rubbing in your death. You respawn almost as quickly as you died, and you're placed close to where you messed up, so you don't get bored replaying the same challenges over and over. I did get a funny punch in the gut that I felt was unfair, but after watching this clip of an interview Kotaku did with Matt Thorson, the lead designer, I'll allow it. What?
Really easy. Is this where I should go? Wow,
Yeah.
Did I just own myself?
Yeah, there was a warning sign there and everything.
Yeah, I see it. Man, it's like don't. And there's a ladder. What was somebody doing with that ladder?
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Celeste's story is about a young girl named Madeline who has reached a point in her life that she has to climb a mountain. I've had points like that in my life too. Sometimes we have to do hard things just to remind ourselves that we're worth something. Celeste somehow takes on heavy subject matter, like anxiety and depression, while using pixel art and silly noises in the place of voices, like Banjo-Kazooie. You're taking a journey with Madeline as she comes to understand herself and overcome her depression as she comes closer to the peak. It's not often that I see a story that melds so well with the actual gameplay. Celeste asserts that overcoming depression and anxiety is like climbing a mountain. It's not easy, full of mistakes and learning, and it has lots of hard things to take on. But there are also friends along the way. Early on in your adventure, you acquaint yourself with the selfie-taking, mellow Theo. My favorite chapter in this game, narratively, is definitely the Mirror Temple. Theo wanders in alone to take some pictures, and you soon find that he's got himself into some trouble. The Mirror Temple to me is a parable of the loneliness and self-destruction that comes with depression. Madeline battles with herself as she searches for Theo to try to save him from trouble. What really completes this chapter, however, is its music. Oh, the music. Celeste's soundtrack perfectly complements the gameplay at any time. It adapts to where you are and helps reinforce whatever the developers want you to be feeling as you take on a tremendous challenge, chat with your buddy Theo, or reflect on all that's happened up until that point, like the Mirror Temple. Celeste offers more than enough to players who want a lot out of their game. There are 8 chapters, like I said before, but within each chapter there are several optional strawberries, crystal hearts, and B-side cassette tapes. These cassette tapes unlock a harder version of each chapter. These B-sides take the difficulty of Celeste to a whole new level. I finally found all the collectibles and completed all the B-sides, just to discover that the developers had a few more tricks up their sleeves. Golden strawberries and C-sides. What kind of cassette has a C-side anyway? Whatever. Unfortunately, the C-sides is actually where a lot of my love for Celeste breaks down. I probably spent 8 total hours dying over and over and over again on the Summit C-side before I finally got it. Asking players to do dozens of near-frame perfect button presses and near-pixel perfect movement for 45 seconds straight is difficult enough. And it gets really frustrating when your character doesn't seem to dash the direction you want them to, because of the precision that analog stick requires. Here's a compilation I made of my many, many deaths. Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you. You're too kind. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. I did finally succeed, though. You can see that here. I ended my Celeste experience replaying the main game for these clips you've been seeing. Its refreshingly fair challenges brought back the joy I have playing Celeste. I recommend this game to anyone, but if you have a Nintendo Switch, Celeste is a must-have. This is the game that you will bring with you on the go, and tell your friends to buy so you can chat with them about it. I've not played a game this good narratively in a long time, but its solid controls and exhilarating movement is enough to make it worth it, even if you don't care about narrative games. Studio Mini-Boss also made Out There Somewhere, my first game I ever reviewed on this channel, and have impressed me once again. Studio Mini-Boss and Matt Makes Games are definitely on my list of indie studios to keep an eye on. Despite the seaside frustrations, I loved Celeste. Its diverse challenges, relatable story, lovable characters, and music worthy of purchasing the soundtrack lead me to give Celeste 10 out of 10.